So Sherry, well, okay. Well, this is not Hollywood, right?
That's true.
Okay, so we're back. This is David Soble with Proven Resource and Soble PLC. Thanks very much for joining us. Um, this is a webinar that Proven Resource sponsors the second to last Tuesday of every month. Proven Resource is sponsoring the webinar. It's called A Woman's Financial Transformation in 2000, A Strong Woman's Financial Transformation in 2018. And so the whole impetus of the webinar is to provide great, practical, useful information related to finance, law, and real estate, credit, etc. for women, as well as men if they want to join us. That's fine. In improving their prospects for 2018. And so right now I'm going to move over a little bit, and I have Bruce Nosanchuk who's joining us. Bruce is not only a friend, but he is probably one of the most creative, insightful lenders out there when it comes to commercial and business loans, specializing in SBA lending. Bruce, who's going to talk in a minute because he's about to smile, actually has been doing this since the turn of the century, right, Bruce?
Very true.
Right. And, it's funny, Laura, before she left, she said some attorneys don't like to smile. I like to smile and I like to laugh and I like to have a good time. And every time I see Bruce, when we do business together and I'm referring clients to him or he's referring clients to me, or we're discussing client situations in general, we try and find a silver lining with every transaction that we're engaging in. And with that, tonight, I just, it's going to be a real, just casual conversation because you're a casual kind of guy, right, Bruce?
I am.
Yeah. So tell me, first of all, what's the market like for you right now in SBA lending? With everything that's going on out there in 2018, how are you finding it?
The market has gotten a lot stronger in 2018. Things have been really getting better as business grows, as people have calmed down a little bit as it relates to our political issues in the world to some degree.
Don't talk politics.
I won't talk politics. The bottom line is that people are really believing in what's going on out there. Business is good. Lenders are lending money, and that's an important fact. They're lending money to startup businesses. They're lending money to existing businesses. You just need to be able to create the right case. Laura, who just shared with you the importance of that business plan, that is very important, especially if you're starting a new business, having a plan, giving a lender a understanding of that plan, how you profit by the product that you're selling, and how many widgets, so to speak, you need to sell in order to make your funds, helps a lender believe in what it is you're trying to do.
So it's like Shark Tank, but a lot more formal.
I think it's somewhat informal. The formal part of it is really kept away from you, the customer. Working with someone like myself, I happen to understand from both working for two major banks in the past. I understand the ins and outs of how I need to present you to the financial institution that I'm working to get the transaction done through. So I effectively will try to sell you in the best possible light. And how do I do that? I sell you based upon that plan, based upon your numbers, your projections.
So I hate to interrupt you. So you don't work, tell the viewing audience, you're not really working for one particular bank. What is it that you do? Are you an independent contractor? What is it that you do?
Well, what happened, just to give you a little history on myself, I spent my first number of years in the workforce as a real estate professional, understanding the ins and outs of office, warehouse, retail, leasing, understanding, really where that came from and how I represented customers in that process. Then I was recruited to go to work for a financial institution who specialized in SBA loans, and I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with the idea of helping people.
What does SBA stand for?
Small Business Administration. And
Okay.
what that really does is, by putting somebody like yourself into a small business loan, you are reaping the benefits of a product that is available to each and every U.S. citizen or green card holder out there.
Uh-huh.
You are provided a guarantee from the bank who actually agrees to go forward on your transaction, actually gets a guarantee from the government, which helps make the transaction a little more palatable for a bank who may not want to lend to somebody based upon a startup business.
So the government basically says to an institution, look, if you make a loan and that loan meets this criteria, or our lending criteria, we will insure that loan, and we will take some of that risk or that burden in the event that the loan defaults or if it goes bad. We, the government, will reimburse a certain portion of that loan back to the bank.
That's absolutely correct.
They take the risk off the bank, but
they take some of the risk,
some
but
of the risk,
most
not all,
most
right.
of the risk in
Right.
many ways.
Right.
In many ways, for many of your viewers, new businesses, 75% of the loan is guaranteed by the government back to the bank. So if you hire someone like myself who puts a transaction together for you, sells it to the bank, gets the bank to approve you, now the bank, you become that bank's customer, but I sort of help guide the way for you,
right.
and put you in the best possible light. Make sure that your package looks as strong as it should in order to get the transaction completed.
When we talk about package, we're talking about a loan package. You
Correct.
want to make the loan package
That's
look
correct.
as
That's correct.
strong as possible. Your job is really to guide. I've had many people that come to me who need financing, and we've worked together. And your job really is to guide people through what can be a difficult process if they did it on their own, to apply for a special type of loan, and you package that loan with all the items that are necessary for a bank to make a decision. And then you don't just take it to one bank, you're taking it to the best bank for that package, correct? You're almost creating a marriage.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
In many ways, David, you and I have worked together on transactions in the past, and I mirror there's a certain style that you have in working with a customer that I actually have found that I mirror a little bit, and that's establishing a good relationship. While I will always have a professional relationship with my customers, I find that I become their friend in the process,
family.
and they do, because
Right.
you're working on somebody's deal, and somebody's deal is very important to
Right.
somebody,
It's their
and
livelihood,
I'm
right?
looking
Sure.
to get that deal completed. So I take it very personal sometimes when I run into a potential roadblock, and then I just find a different way to build the mousetrap
Right.
in order to get the transaction completed.
But you also, because of your experience, so if let's go through the process, but your job is to make everything easier for the applicant, the loan applicant.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the first thing that we want to make sure, though, is does the SBA loan or the financing, does it require some real property? Does it require somebody to have a collateral, just real estate?
It does not require
Okay.
that at all.
Very
One of the
important.
nice aspects of that guarantee
Uh-huh.
is it's there to act as the additional collateral. It makes the lender feel good that, okay, boy, this potential borrower has wonderful experience.
Yeah.
They've got the initial down payment to get into it. I understand how they're going to go about doing it. They've got potential customers here, but they're lacking that collateral. That collateral could easily be made up by just the fact that there's going to be a guarantee that's going to be in place.
Okay. So are these why should somebody who's starting out I don't even know how long somebody has to be in business, but you're going to tell the viewers. But why should somebody consider an SBA loan as opposed to just getting a regular loan, whatever that regular loan might be?
That's a great question,
Okay.
and best could be answered by what has occurred over the last 10 years. When we had our big bank meltdown here in the course of the last 10 years, there were a number of financial institutions that just decided we're no longer in the tool and die business. We're no longer in the hotel business. We're no longer in this industry. So they'd send out their bank managers and who would go out and say, okay, Mr. Customer, I know you've been a customer of our bank for 30 years. I know you've been a customer of our bank for 25 years or 10 years or 15 years, but we are no longer going to be we no longer want to service your loan. And you'd say to the bank, well, I've never been late on a payment. I've never done anything wrong. And they'd say, well, it's not really you. It's just the marching orders from from the top of the corporate structure have said we're no longer in that industry. By them doing so, it effectively limited what you could do. Now, if your financial statement looked wonderful, you could probably find financing. But if there was any kind of downturn on your books, you were going out in the middle of the world looking for financing when
The worst environment.
when nobody was really lending money.
So SBA was there to kind of help.
It was there to help people, and it was important. You asked, why would somebody want to do an SBA deal
Yeah.
over another, and that can easily be answered by a couple of different quick things. That guarantee will really help. There's no restrictive loan covenants, as I tell many of my customers. You could mow lawns on the weekend or clean houses on the weekend in order to effectively pay your bank note. The bank can't call your note in. It has no restrictive loan covenants. It's a deal that will go from beginning to end without a balloon payment.
Right. So let me clarify. So a restrictive loan covenant is nothing more than a provision in a lending agreement that says you can't do certain things, and if you do those things, we're going to call your note, whether there's a balloon or not. A balloon is actually when a payment, the balance of a loan, the principal balance of the loan becomes due. The loans that are SBA, they don't have balloons on them.
Not at all.
So just very clear, because I think it's a wonderful product and program. A lot of commercial loans have a 5-year balloon on them. That is, if you go to a bank and you're not doing an SBA loan, and the bank offers you a loan on your business or your business property, in there it's going to have a balloon date, usually that goes 60 months from the day that you take out. 60 months or 120 months. So 60 months is 5 years, 120 months is 10 years, and it's from that day, 10 years from the date, let's say, that you take out your loan. However it's amortized, that means however the loan is spread out over so many years, it doesn't matter. It could be a 20-year note, it could be a 30-year note, it could be a 15-year note. It doesn't matter. The balloon is due in 120 months or 10 years. SBA loans, they don't have that, correct?
That's absolutely
and
correct.
That's a big deal.
I believe it's a very
I
big
would
deal.
agree, right?
I think it's a very big deal. They also are not going to have a lender that participates in the SBA loan program. Basically, for that guarantee, they're giving up certain language that lenders like to sneak in. As David shared with you in Laura's presentation, having a lawyer review your documentation is important. Sometimes a bank, when it's a commercial transaction, conventional transaction, they add language to your specific note that they might not have had in somebody else's. With an SBA note, it's the same note that each and every person in the country is going to sign. It's conformed to have specific language, which is basically a fair interest rate, a fair term, no balloon payments, there's really no language that you have to worry about in an SBA loan.
And so it's standardized language, and that's really important. Let me kind of digress a little bit. The topic, really the theme of the whole webinar relates to women succeeding in 2018 financially, legally in their business, okay, or in their personal economy. In your bailiwick, so to speak, when it comes to SBA lending, what should a new entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur who's looking to open a business, when it comes to going to get a loan, what does she need to know? Let's say if she's just starting out, what should she do? What would be the first thing you tell a new business owner, a minority business owner who wants to seek, capital from a lending institution to grow her business? What's the first thing that she should do besides seeing an attorney?
Having that business plan, I believe, is very important. Actually reading the business plan. Sometimes people go and have somebody create a business plan for them, but they don't actually read what it is that they're proposing to do.
Right.
I think that that's very important. I think that you don't need to have experience in the industry that you are proposing to get involved in with the bank, but somebody on your management team needs to bring that experience to the table. That is probably the number one most important aspect of an SBA loan, that somebody is bringing the experience to do that product, to sell that product, to make that product. If it's not going to be you, who is it going to be? How many years have they been doing it? Have they been successful? Why will they be successful selling your product for you? Why will they be successful making that product for you? And making it so that a lay person, a person not involved in your business could easily understand, because that will be the number one strength of your SBA loan, how you're going to sell it. If I believe in your product, I want to get your transaction completed, I'm going to do everything I can in order to do so. I'm going to put you with a financial institution that would be eager to do your type of transaction. There are certain banks that don't want certain type of deals, and there are certain banks that do want certain types of deals. That's where my knowledge and experience will help in that process. But there are a number of people who are independent brokers like myself who work these transactions regularly. Any good, experienced, honest person is going to point you in the right direction to sell your ideas on paper and then effectively get the transaction completed with the bank.
I think you said something really important, which is dealing with experienced people. So, and that's why everybody who's on these webinar presentations, they all have at least 20 years in the business, and they're all well regarded. I do have to have a quick disclaimer, Bruce, that you should vet your own professional regardless. But I would say don't take my word for it, but I feel comfortable with pretty much anybody who I've invited to be on the webinar, and I appreciate that you're here. Let me ask you this: what is the most common problem that you see that people, besides business plan, because I can understand that's the roadmap for a lender to understand what it is that what they're trying to accomplish. But what other problems come up that make it difficult for people to secure that financing? How about credit? Is credit an issue?
I think that being honest with the person that you're working with is probably the most important. Whether it's the attorney that's helping you set the documentation up, the broker such as myself who's effectively working to find you that financing out there. If you're honest with people, that's going to really help you in the process. Don't tell somebody that you've got outstanding credit if you don't. If you know there's an issue out there, it's better for me to know about it up front. I can try to, as we like to say in this industry, clip the hair out of the transaction, clip the, trim the hair away so that there's no longer hair messing up my deal.
Right.
And that's really what I want to do. I want this to be an easy process from beginning, middle to end. So if there's a real good, honest relationship between you and your lawyer, you and your broker, and the people that you are working with, I think that goes a long way. But yeah, credit is important, but with an SBA loan, credit is not the most important thing. I can get an SBA loan approved for somebody that's got a 550 credit score. I can get a transaction approved for someone that's got an 800 credit score. It all, it all depends on what you bring to the table. I try to build upon the strengths that you bring to the table, and by doing so, we put our best foot forward to get the transaction completed.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's really important for people to know. What if they don't qualify for? Are there other loan products out there, Bruce? I know your main area, and that you have a lot of success with, and people are happy with. Of course, is the SBA financing. But do you provide other types of financing?
I do.
Vehicles?
There's conventional products that are out there. While my brain, when I meet with a customer, I've been programmed to really effectively, to really effectively work on SBA as an important means of getting something done. There is conventional products out there. If you have some strength to your transaction, that won't provide a lender with the guarantee, but you may already be in business. You may be looking to expand your business, and there may be a lender that would be willing to do that conventional deal. There's also bridge loans that are available out there for people that have certain situations that maybe we need to clean up a big mess with a bridge loan, temporarily land in a bridge loan until we actually can put you into a SBA product. Certain things that when I say clean up, you may have tax liabilities. You may have issues related that the SBA is not willing to refinance. So I have to put you into a product that will allow for that refinance and will allow for you to land temporarily until we lay everything back on the table and put you into a long-term product such as an SBA loan.
So it really is the lending relationship, from what I'm gathering, is can be a lengthy relationship, and it has to be a good relationship with the professional that you choose to help guide you through the lending process. It's no different than in law. You have to have a good relationship with and feel confident and trust in your case would be the financial advisor.
I have a lot of names on my cellular phone, and I like to think that in many ways I have a lot of friends out there who like to refer previous clients of mine, business. I like to, sometimes somebody's looking for somebody that sells a product that I just worked with somebody that just, did. I like to marry two people together and hope that they can do business together. Good people should continue to do business.
That's why you're a proven resource, right? That's the most important thing about being a good advisor, a good professional, is that if we can't help you, we know that we can pick up the phone. I mean, my criteria has always been, and I learned at a young age, as a professional, I better be able to sleep at night. When I go to sleep and I've given somebody a referral, I know that whoever I referred that individual to will always be well cared for. I never have to question or be concerned, even though I am a kind of a control freak. I'd like to know that the client is well cared for, and when I give a referral, I always feel comfortable that way. And you're the same way, and that's why we asked you to be here tonight.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to impart to our viewers who are engaging in a new business, who are thinking of changing a business, or developing a new business? What is the number one thing besides having a trusted advisor, vetting financial information, getting a business plan, going to the right attorney, CPA, lender, etc.? what else would you want to share with the viewing audience tonight? Your last and final thought for the day.
David, David, speaking on behalf of myself, and I think in knowing you as well as I do, I think that what we do for a living right now, we love. We wake up in the morning and we're excited to go to work.
Right.
Every deal we work, we're helping America be great again in certain ways.
Wow.
I didn't mean to add Donald Trump into the equation.
Madeline can edit that part out.
But I do want to say that we are good at being able to listen to people and to be able to help them. And I think that's the most important thing.
Our success really is measured by the success of our clients. That's in the end, that's really what it comes out to and down to. So with that, Bruce, tell people where they can find you at Pinnacle, which is the name of your financing organization.
Yes, Pinnacle Real Estate Lending Group. I can be reached at area code 586-940-5555. That's 586-940-5555. My email is Bruce, BruceKnows, Bruce Knows at Comcast.net.
And that's good. And Bruce does really know. I can assure you, I've worked with Bruce and known Bruce for years. He deals with the whole state of Michigan when it comes to, takes great care of clients. So, especially my clients, and I have no reservations with regards to speaking with Bruce about any type of financing related to your business. And with that, I really appreciate. We're going to end tonight. By saying again, join us at the second last Tuesday of every month. Proven Resource is sponsoring this webinar for, it looks like now, it's going on for almost 9 to 10 months that we have new speakers. So please check in with our website at provenresource.com /6 and 6, which is the webinar name. That's the handle, but you can just go on the webpage and you'll see it's a webinar. And you can go there and see our events. You can also go to our Facebook page at Proven Resource, and it will have the event calendar there as well, like us on Facebook. Finally, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you're always welcome to get in touch with me at 888-789-1715, or you can reach me at dsoble@provenresource.com. I can put you in touch with people like the good professionals today that we've had on, which will be Bruce Nosanchuk in lending, or Laura Isley in business law. If you need anything further from them and you're trying to reach them, you're definitely welcome to give us a call as well, and we'll put you in touch with them. With regards to real estate, financial issues, and contract issues, you're always welcome to give me and my staff a call. And with that, we're going to sign off tonight. I want to thank Madeline Krieger for helping us with our webinar tonight, as well as Nancy Phillips. And I'll put out a shout to Anita Atisha, and we'll put out a shout to Denise Medina, who are also very helpful in the office and making sure that we can get this webinar out to all our viewers and our clients and friends. So with that, we're going to say good night. Thank you, and we'll see you in another month on April. What is it, Madeline? April what? The 21st. It is the 21st. That's the second to last Tuesday of the month. And you can go online and see the schedule there. So again, thank you for having us. Thanks for watching, and give us a shout if you need anything else. Have a good night.